shortage of money for infrastructure projects. I thought it was the cornerstone of the stimulus plan. Now it's less than half the size of the tax cuts. I don't think we should compromise so much with the Republicans when the stakes are so high. How are we going to address this issue? Well, Louise, the stakes are high. In fact, they're too high to play partisan games. So from day one, during the campaign and especially since inauguration, the President has made it plain that he wants to work in a bipartisan way to get this economy moving again. And we are asking those in all political parties and of all political backgrounds to come together and support the urgent passage of this plan. The President's made good on his promise. He's reached out to Republicans. He's reached out to all across this country in the development of the plan. Now, on the tax cut side, it's important to remember that the tax cut portion of this plan is not tax cuts for the wealthiest individuals or the biggest businesses. It's tax cuts that are geared specifically at working middle-income families. All right, here's a question from Jeffrey in Asheville, North Carolina. How exactly will the recovery plan work in regards to creating new job possibilities? Will there be incentives for companies to hire new employees, or will it mainly be government jobs? And if they're government jobs, how will people find out about available opportunities? Well, most of the money that's being invested in this plan will get out the door immediately and go directly to creating or saving 3 million jobs nationally, including more than 110,000 jobs in North Carolina. 90% of the jobs are in the private sector because the President understands that the private sector is the engine of American economy, and in particular, tax cuts in this plan target small businesses because that's really where the most job growth occurs. The public sector funding in the plan is important. 90% of the jobs are in the private sector, but there are key public sector investments so that we can hire and train teachers, firefighters, and police officers in our communities to do the work that we need to educate our kids and keep us safe. All right, let me take a question now from Anita in Odessa, Missouri. What's the plan going to do for those out of work or underemployed people in rural areas? Some people can't drive 25 or more miles to a metropolitan area to find a job. Some may be older, unskilled laborers who some deem unemployable. Well, first, to help people through no fault of their own who've lost jobs in this tough economy, the plan provides unemployment insurance enhancements to people who've lost jobs and are in desperate need of help. The plan offers an additional $100 per month in unemployment insurance benefits to 326,000 workers in Missouri and extends existing unemployment benefits to another 48,000 workers. The President's plan also recognizes the need to ensure that businesses in our rural communities are competitive for years to come. A key piece of the plan talks about investing in telecommunications, broadband, and internet access throughout rural America. And that will be very important to being able to create new jobs and then keep great talent in the rural communities so that they can be successful. All right, here's the last question from Sarah in Ferndale, Michigan. Once finalized, how is the money allocated and what will the oversight consist of? What are your exact plans to show transparency? Well, as I know you know from the campaign, accountability and transparency are core values of the Obama administration. The President has worked very hard, and he's going to continue to work hard with Congress to make sure that these investments are directly targeted to measures that are needed to get our economy growing again and make the long-term investments to keep our economy strong. In fact, the best transparency and accountability is that which you, the American public, can give. The plan details and how the money is being spent will be posted on a website, www.recovery.gov. That will go live as soon as the Senate has passed this bill so that you can see the details of how the money is being spent, where it's being spent, and whether it's on track to accomplish its objectives. This is also a first step. The President has also directed his administration team to start scouring the federal budget to find examples of wasteful or unnecessary programs so that we can start to rein in base budget spending. Well, let me say thanks to you who submitted questions and who participated in this discussion. A very special thanks to those of you who organized house parties in your neighborhood and communities to bring your fellow citizens together so you could learn and then debate and then advocate for the stimulus plan. President Obama knows that the solutions to the challenges aren't all in D.C. They're in our communities and neighborhoods across America, and we have to have people in the communities and neighborhoods who go to bat for this plan and make sure and stress how urgent it is that we pass it. It will be your hard work and your pursuit of the American dream that will turn this economy around. Please visit www.barackobama.com to learn more about this stimulus plan and how you can get involved in turning our nation's economy around. Thanks very much.
going out to all my kids, my children. Follow me. You know. This is for my C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N, my daddy. This is for my C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N, my daddy. This is for my C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N, my daddy. This is for my C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N.
Under FDR, we had our stimulus packages. I don't know how many of you were occupied with them. I spent time in the CCCs, but I also spent time in the NYA, which is the National Youth Administration. And it gave us opportunities to learn about equipment and machinery used in manufacturing, which was very good for the young people because very few people have ever did this. So this is one way of doing it. Of course, they had many things going. They had the WPA. I think many people know that. They started building dams. They began doing a lot of things, rural electrification. And these were things that were important during those days because farming people didn't know what electricity was. They didn't know, you know, you put a light bulb up there, you could have lights in the house all the way through the night. So these were important things that were going on, and it helped to stimulate. But he had a great deal of opposition from the Republican Party. Under Hoover, they didn't want to do anything, and they said, let it go, and the marketplace will take care of it. Just trickle down economics. It doesn't really work. If you put money in the hands of a man who has had a job working around and is now unemployed, the chances are the money that you put in his hands will stimulate the economy because he will be spending it in all the stores. He will be putting people to work, selling things, which will help to stimulate the economy by providing taxes to their cities, our states, and our federal government. John McCain says this costs a lot of money to put these workers out there. Yes, but the workers, as they do their job, hand money back to the people who are looking for jobs. So it's going to be important that this program get done and that we don't have the status quo that's been going on for the last 8 years. I mean, many of us I don't know how many of you are internet savvy, but I've been an e-activist. Everything that comes along, everything that the Bush administration was doing, the corporations were getting our property. As citizens, we own the United States, but the politicians take your property and hand it to the oil company, the mining company, the forestry company, and any other company that comes along that wants it, and it doesn't cost them hardly anything to use your property. And the injection generally ends up with many problems, and you've seen them already with global warming.